Sorry, like it was all about me for a little bit there.
No, I'm doing fine. Um, I was actually having sleep problems myself for a few days. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, cause yeah, my fucking sleep schedule just keeps changing based on, well, mostly based on need, but also you know, just based on whatever's comfortable for me. Because most of the time I
Mm-hmm.
like to be at least half nocturnal because then nobody's awake to piss me off. So
Sure.
yeah, so you know I just keep pushing back the time that I go to sleep.
Mm. So when do you go to sleep?
Well, lately I've been going to bed at like um, about 5 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. It's just, and part of the reason I do that is so that I don't wake up at like um, what time? Like 6 or 7 when Lee's feeding Maribel.
Mm.
Can you see the stream?
Mm. Reloading the pic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I try to go, because if I were to go to sleep at like 12 or even like just any time before 3, um I find that I wake up at around the time just hearing them,
Yeah.
so I want to be more asleep.
I get it.
Yeah. But then I found out that like going to bed too late is also kind of a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cause then I wake up at like fucking like 10, or not 10 but like 12 when Rosa's feeding Maribel.
Mm. Yeah. For me, it was just like ever since this like one day where I had to pick up my husband from a work trip, and I ended up having to pick him up at like 2 in the morning. And you know, I didn't like say to myself like, oh, you know, I'll just go to bed and then wake up when he needs me to come get him. I
Yeah.
was just like, you know, I'll just work on my like grad school applications and until then. And like I was in such a groove that like by the time he said, okay, like you can come pick me up, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pick him up and I'm just gonna like finish what I was doing because like I'm on a roll, you know, like I
Mm-hmm.
really hate working when I don't have the like groove or the motivation because I just get like very, very little done. That
Yeah.
I might as well not even do
Mm-hmm.
it. So like we come home and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just you go to bed. Like I'm just gonna finish this up. Then I find out it's 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, that
when
happens
I,
to me too sometimes.
and then like ever since then, like I had like almost 2 weeks of going to bed at 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to change that shit. And
Mm-hmm.
the best thing to do is like on that day that you spend so much time doing shit,
Mm-hmm.
the best thing to do is to just try to go to bed, because
Yeah.
operating when you don't have sleep is incredibly difficult for your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the worst thing was that the next day, like that was when you were helping me with stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up like staying up till like 4 in the
Oh yeah,
morning.
that's
And I
true.
was like, oh fuck. Now I've really set it in stone at that point.
Yeah.
But in any case, like um goodness, it was difficult. But like honestly, like if I do get into my top school and um like if for some reason like something happened where like we were still over in Europe for some reason, I would have to like my classes would be from like 12 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Europe time, and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
no. Like I might as well have just written on my application like, hey, I'm awake already, so might as well just
Yeah.
let me take the classes that are already in session. Let me just skip to now instead
Mm-hmm.
of waiting for next year.
Yeah.
But but yeah, it's been really tough because like I don't know, like it's gotten to where I like in the evening ish, no matter where I am, I try to make a point to like sit in an uncomfortable spot.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
But I just boom, like click your fingers and I'm gone.
Uh-huh.
And because like I wanted to deter me being awake or well, like falling asleep and then being awake for like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But my body was just like, no. Even though this is uncomfortable, I'm just gonna sleep like this. But it's gotten better, especially like I had to get my ass into gear for today because of the program that I was doing
Yeah.
in the morning. So it's getting better.
That's good.
And yeah.
This is the part of the game where, like, you don't need to have the 3 people not in your party equipped. So I just take the stuff they're wearing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just makes everything easier. I mean, there's still two more parts of the game, and one of them's coming up kind of at the very end of this whole section, where they change your team. So you'd want to have those characters equipped.
Okay, I gotcha.
But yeah, I don't need to really worry about it until then.
I think like all the mobs here are like kind of like slimy.
Yeah,
types.
pretty much.
Like one's like a snaily guy, and then like the others are like ectoplasmic goop.
Yeah. This is, I don't know, it's kind of... Oh shit, whoops. It's kind of like a sewer, I guess? That's kind of...
Yeah.
But it's like a cross between some sort of railway
It's
and
like
some...
train station. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It's actually
Someone else?
surprisingly easy to get a preemptive strike on a lot of these enemies, despite there being so many of them.
Oh yeah, well,
They
they're little
just
slimy guys.
they just have like a low field of vision, I guess.
Do you think for like the higher level the mob is, the harder it is to get preemptive strike?
No,
Or it doesn't matter?
it's really all dependent on like just how they sit in the field and like how wide their view is. So yeah, it's not too hard. You just got to make sure you take proper advantage of the situation. So yeah, I'm just running through because pretty much all we're doing here is fighting, and that's it.
Something like this.
Yeah, this is like the part where it kind of looks like a sewer.
Oh yeah, okay.
We better stick together.
It actually kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, kind of reminds me of Portal. Because there's a lot of parts of that game where you're just running through the the back alley of Aperture.
Yeah, it's like the underbelly kind of vibe.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I feel like, other than Portal, there's not a whole lot of games that really, really do. Cause like there's a certain element of like, I guess really mild horror because like you're completely by yourself and you don't know what's down here. So yeah, it's just kind of scary in that aspect, even more so in Portal because they do a good job with like atmosphere and shit. And that's like the whole point of Portals, that you're the only one.
It's like not so much horror as it is like thrilling, like a thriller kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess so. But
Because,
like in
not-
Portal, there's nothing to scare you. It's just the idea of you being alone.
Yeah, it's like creepy AF.
Yeah, it's kind of like those survival horror games, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But without all of the like enemy type threat, you know.
Right, exactly.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like Valve did a good job with atmosphere in their games.
Yeah.
It's too bad they're not going to be making any more, but
Wah, wah.
yeah. Anyway, we've been here for a few minutes, so hopefully more and more people have come in. So hey everybody, we're back. It's been a week and a day. We didn't stream yesterday just because weren't really feeling it. So we're here today. Also, I feel like it's kind of important that we finish our playthrough before the Jingle Jam starts.
Yeah.
Which is in a few days. But we could talk about that later. So yeah, we're here. It's probably our last part because we don't have a whole lot left to do before we end our little playthrough here. So yeah, we're just in the 5th arc, and just
Woohoo!
trudging through. There's two bosses in this area, I guess, like sort of a midway boss, and then a last boss in this at the end of the arc, I guess. So yeah, we're only going to the first one though, because that's where the Crystarium expands. I don't think that's the start of chapter 11 though. It's kind of the only place where you get a Crystarium expansion, and it's not the end of the chapter. So.
Interesting.
But anyway, this expansion that we're gonna get after this boss is like probably the biggest one, and that's the part where I have to start using the trainer to just cheat stuff in so I can get through it faster. So yeah.
Tight.
And so now I guess I didn't look at the Crystarium at all last time, but yeah, so now there's a message here that says you're able to harness the full powers of a L'Cie, and your characters can master any role. You have to learn an ability to start using that role, and you can use more versatile paradigms the more roles you have, obviously. So yeah, this is, I guess, the first part where it sort of opens up, and these little sections aren't too big, these next ones in their primary roles. Oops. I'm just looking at Snow's Crystarium here. Yeah, so I guess they're kind of expensive, these, the next part. Well, no, they're not, actually. It's just a lot of the enemies here don't give a whole lot of Crystagen, so. Yeah.
Is it just like higher level versions of what you've had before, or is there like brand new stuff?
Well, I'm just looking at the primary ones first, so you get a bit more stat boosts and one ability usually for those. But then you can also look at the roles that they haven't learned yet. So like for Snow, you've got Saboteur, Synergist, and Medic are the roles he doesn't know. And Snow learns a lot of the, what's it called, debilitation type sabotage spells. So
For some reason, my brain registered debilitation as disability.
Well, kind of. That's sort of the point of it. Like, there's two types of
Like, hiya, I'm gonna make you disabled.
Yeah, well, basically that's it. Yeah, because he learned there's two different types of saboteur spells. There's debuffs, which just lower a stat of the enemy, depending on what stat you want to lower. So like deep protect lowers their physical defense.
Okay. So it doesn't do it at random. You like pick it.
Yeah, it's depending on the spell specifically.
Okay, gotcha.
Whether it hits is random.
Sure, of
that's
course.
like a percent chance thing.
As games typically do.
Yeah. I'll level up their primary roles just because it's a good idea to do. But yeah. It's, what was I saying? Yeah, Snow learns the debilitation one, so he doesn't learn the debuff. So he learns the spells that are like Pain, which is disable the target's physical abilities. So he learns stuff like that. He doesn't learn the debuffs like Deprotect or Deshell or Imperil. He also doesn't learn Dispel for some fucking reason. That's a real pain in the ass.
He's no Harry Potter, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Because that's like the only spell he uses.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Fuck, I was thinking about that a few days
It's
ago.
like all he uses is Expelliarmus. Expel.
That's
whatever
yeah,
the
that's.
fuck it is.
I don't know if we brought this up before, but that's like one of the things I didn't like about Harry Potter is like how underwhelming the magic was. Because like I want to see fucking like fireballs and shit and the sort of stuff that I see.
Like for freaking. Sorry. Oh my god. For a fucking like entire story that's based on like people who wield magic and like go to school for it, like all you hear about is like maybe like 7 different spells, and like 3 of them are like come up over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just they've built a super interesting world in my opinion, but unfortunately they just don't have that RPG element that I'm most interested in.
Right. Like, I want it so fleshed out that there's no room for fan fiction.
Well, there's always going to be room for fan fiction, but
Oh no. Not if you're Robert Jordan.
Who's that?
Right. He's the one that wrote, what do you call? Eye of the World is the first one.
Oh, the Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time. Yeah. That is so fleshed out, there literally is, like, no fan fiction. Because it's like, so-and-so went to the bathroom. Like, it goes beyond insane. And that's why there's, like, 13, 14 books, maybe? 13 or 14 books.
Are there any? Is there going to be any more books?
No, he died.
Oh, okay.
He died before he finished his last like 3 books, and he like it wasn't him; it was his wife that like bequeathed the rights and stuff like that, and like gave the blessing for this other person, Brandon Sanderson, to continue.
Oh, okay.
And finish it for him.
That's pretty cool, yeah. But yeah, if it's a set of 14 books, then it would be. I don't know if you know this, but for I don't know why, but for some reason people refer to a set of 14 books as an apocrypha.
Whoa, really? Apocrypha.
Yeah, the only reason
that sounds cool.
Yeah, the only reason I know that is because of Skyrim. Well, I mean, they don't tell you that. I had to look up what an apocrypha is, but like, yeah, apocrypha.
How do you spell that?
Apo.
Like
Cry.
Apoc.
Yeah, Apoc. Rye. PHA.
Oh. Okay.
And that's like in the Elder Scrolls, it's like the realm of Hermaeus Mora. Or like his realm of oblivion. So that's how I know. And again, they don't tell you that.
Apocrypha are works usually written of unknown authorship or of doubtful origin. So the Bible, basically one, is a set of text of biblical apocrypha.
Apocrypha? Yeah.
Apocrypha. Fuck.
Well, it doesn't have to be, like, religious.
Because, okay, so it's 14 books because the King James Version of the Bible has like 14 parts to it.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, it's kind of funny how, you know, he died right after writing the 14th one. Maybe that's like the author's version of the fucking composer's curse.
Oh, like the number 10 being a big deal. Like
Yeah.
the 10th Symphony and shit like that. You know who didn't have that problem? Fucking Haydn. He wrote like 130 something.
Is it safe to assume that he sold his soul?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I really don't know.
But yeah, you want to watch out for these flan enemies because they can...
I keep forgetting their name is Flan.
Yeah, you want to watch out for these. I don't know if the other ones, like in the earlier parts of the game, do this, but these flan, like when they get low on health, they merge with each other and become a bigger flan. And then they get like a lot more dangerous, and then they can do it again, I think, as well, if there's two of them.
Gang up on you.
Yeah, so they just... I mean, you're not going to see the enemy, probably, if you don't let them do that, but thankfully there's no, like, bestiary requirement in this game for, like, a trophy or whatever, so... Yeah. Actually, a lot of the enemies in this game, we just got a rainbow anklet. That's, resist daze. Daze is a real pain in the ass in this game. Cause, like, it's basically the same as stop from the earlier Final Fantasy games.
Confusion. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no confusion in this game, actually.
I'm just thinking of that vine.
Oh yeah.
I am confusion.
I should probably Libra these enemies, but... I really need to just kick their asses as soon as possible.
So, are you ready for Jingle Jam?
I hope so, yeah.
Are you gonna donate?
Oh no, because I don't have any money, but, but I'll be watching it, so there's that.
Yeah. I'm ready for the Jingle Cats.
Oh yeah. I usually don't watch them. The only stream that I watch on the day, like as they stream, is whatever Hat Films stream is called.
Oh, where they like make the music?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's the only one that I watch. Like, live.
Yeah. I think the only other one that I watch live is the Protectional Strum with Milesy.
Uh-huh.
That one, I don't know. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Because too, like, his cat makes an appearance
Oh yeah.
after like a certain milestone, and I'm like, oh, kitty. But yeah, I hope to donate. I don't even know what's in the Humble Bundle this year, honestly. I haven't even paid attention.
Oh yeah. I still haven't really used the one that you gave me, or the two that you gave me.
Oh.
That's something I'll have to do when I eventually have more time. It's just
Sure,
I did.
just rack them up though. And hold on to them, man.
Yeah, because they don't go away ever, apparently. But
Yeah.
yeah, I did start at some point doing that, just like going through the list and looking each one up and seeing if it's a game I'd be interested in. Yeah. Oh, I got an achievement called Lore Master. Is that the one where I Libra 1,000 enemies? I don't know. Or maybe it's just encounter a certain number of enemies. Yeah, these dancing birds are back. Oh, I almost got a preemptive.
Your fave. What? They look like, oh wow, wow, squaw.
Yeah. That's why I like them though.
I think this is like the prettiest versions of them I've seen.
Yeah, probably. I think these are probably my favorite ones.
I'm not sure if it's the color palette, but like, I don't know. I guess it's been a while too, so.
No, I do like these ones. There's some other ones that you only see on Pulse. And they look alright. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, these guys can do a shit ton of damage. So what they do is they inflict,
Promised.
they inflict Deprotect and Daze at the same time.
Okay.
So Deprotect obviously is just, you take almost double damage from physical attacks. Fuck, what I really need here is... I don't know. I need like... I guess I don't really need Saz's buffs at the beginning. But yeah, so Deprotect means you take almost double damage. And then Daze is it has kind of a low chance to hit or to stick compared to some other debuffs. But basically what Daze does is it's like Stop from the earlier Final Fantasy games.
Okay. Yeah.
But also, when you get hit with it, in your next... the next time you get hit, assuming you don't, like, get rid of it or dispel it some way, the next time you get hit, you take double damage from, I think, anything, like magic or physical. So basically, if you get hit by both Daze and Deprotect, and then you get hit with a physical attack, then that physical attack's gonna do like 3 times damage, I think. It's like almost, it's about, it would be 190% more damage than it would normally do, so yeah. And then they also have these like, I don't know, it's kind of hard. I find it easy to like classify certain enemies as one of the roles that you learn. So the ones with ninja stars, I think, yeah, those are the they're like saboteurs because they debuff you. Also, I think the only physical attack they have is the one where they throw the star at you. So it's not really a huge deal, but oh, this is hard. Oh, we got the preemptive, that's right. Alright. Yeah, see, this is tough because I want to go for this Stikini because he's gonna debuff us, but also I have to finish. Also, they don't have much HP, so they're pretty easy to take care of. But then the bomb is also an issue because it's gonna blow up if you're not fast enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, but actually, it's really hard to get a preemptive on these birds because they like to turn around as soon as you get close to them. So yeah, but yeah, I guess so. The Stikinis are the ones with the ninja stars. They
Pace is killing me.
this or they have like debuffs, so I would call them a saboteur. But for the Skatanes or whatever however you pronounce that, I guess they're kind of like Ravagers because they attack pretty quickly and pretty relentlessly. But also they do a lot of fucking damage. So I guess they're like sort of edging into commando territory.
It smells fishy, and I'm gonna find it.
Is anybody in the chat?
Not that I've seen.
Oh, okay. And these big guys are really easy to get preemptive on. I think these enemies look really cool. Yeah, so in this fight I would take advantage of the stagger to just land a bunch of debuffs.
Can he be affected by poison?
Yep, we've stuck poison on. I would raise the, because this guy has kind of a short stagger period, I would, well, first of all, make sure you get those debuffs on, but also, once you've got them on, which hopefully you can do pretty quick, especially if you're using Vanille, because she learns D-Protect and D-Shell, and Imperil and Poison, which are also really useful. I would raise the use Ravagers to raise the chain gauge to about 500%.
How many of these guys are there walking around?
There's 2 in this room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, we got the debuffs on already. Yeah, so just kind of raise the chain gauge as high as you can, and then go for the big damage with commandos. And I just taught Smite to Snow. So if you can get the timing right, if you haven't done enough damage, like in the time allowed, then hopefully you can hit him with a Smite, and that might kill it. So yeah, pretty fast when you know what you're doing with these guys, especially if you have Vanille or anybody who knows D-Protect. Can really wipe these guys up really fast. And I was looking up how oh, a new weapon for Saz. I was looking up how poison works in this game, and like why it's so fucking powerful. Basically, the way it works is it doesn't do a set amount of like points of damage every second, like, you know, the way it would work in other games. In this game, poison basically works as a percent.
Huh, okay.
So basically the exact numbers is
Well, I guess that makes sense, because like if every boss is like of a different HP number.
Yeah, because in this game a lot of the characters, or not characters, but like enemies have like really high stats compared to you, or like just in this game it feels like they've shifted everything by a whole digit.
Right, yeah.
So like in this game, the normal damage limit is 100,000, I think, whereas in other games the damage limit is 1,000, or no, sorry, 10,000.
Yeah, because like if you can imagine, like it's either you introduce potions that take away more hit points the further into the game you go, so you get like higher level potions.
Yeah.
Like that. Or you just decide from the get-go, like, this potion is going to take off like 15% in time or something like that. You know, I think it's kind of like a smarter thing to do, personally.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Potions are fucking useless in this game. Because they, basically at the start of the game, they restore, I think, 300?
Or I
no,
meant
sorry.
Poisons, potions.
Oh, yeah.
One and the same.
Well, Yeah, there's no weapon or item that inflicts poison on the enemy. The only way you can inflict poison is with the spell poison.
Oh, okay, got it. Never mind then.
Yeah, but basically it's, I don't know, it's like some enemies in this game know Doom, which is basically you know, you have a set amount of time, and there's like a timer above your head, obviously, and it shows how much time you have before you just instantly die.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah. But in this game, poison is basically Doom.
Okay.
So, like, the way it works is, again, it does 1% damage every 3 seconds, or like 1% of the enemy's max HP is the damage that poison does every 3 seconds. So basically it's Doom 300, like, so the enemy has 300 seconds to live. And then you can also, obviously, you can decrease that time by just attacking them, or doing damage in some other way.
Yeah, which is why it's wise to start off with that and then...
Yeah. Poison's kind of hard to land, especially like in earlier parts of the game, because obviously the saboteurs, their roll bonus is just to have a greater chance of inflicting the debuff, or any debuffs. So,
Gotcha.
you know, when you have like a level 1 saboteur, their chances of landing any debuff are smaller than like a saboteur who has who's like level 5. So I'm gonna retry this fight until I get a preemptive, because I just don't want to waste the time.
They're all looking.
They got kind of creepy eyes as well, don't they?
Did that count? Yeah. Tight.
Are these guys... Oh yeah, they're weak to fire. Yeah, so also I think if you launch... Oh wow, that was fast as fuck. I think if you launch them, they can't merge with each other. I mean, they try to, but then they miss, I think. So basically it stops them.
That would suck if they did, though.
Yeah. But thankfully it was, you know, coded sensibly, so...
Yeah. So are you guys getting ready for the holidays at all?
I mean, I'm not, but hopefully other people are.
Hanukkah starts this Sunday.
Oh, does he?
Are you excited for your birthday?
Not really, honestly. I haven't been in a long time.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't help that it's during the holiday season.
Yeah.
It doesn't get its own special time of the year, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're thinking that you might need or want?
No, not really.
You good?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything. But maybe that's a good thing. So. Oh, actually, I think this is the part of the game where Pez wiped like 15 times in the whole stream.
Oh my gosh. How long did that take?
Oh shit. Well, I mean, it spent like this section isn't all that long, honestly.
Okay.
So it was just like a normal stream. It just so happened that he just fucking wiped against enemies 15 times. So
It was for the views, man.
I feel like sometimes he does that. Yeah. Is this guy? Yeah. So in this case, the enemy is really susceptible to like poison and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of wasting time, I guess.
Sure.
Because I don't want to stagger him. But I don't want to lose the chase. So I'm just waiting for oh my god, yeah. That's how fucking powerful poison is in this game. Alright, we'll go for this. Because he transforms when he loses about half of his HP.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just noticed.
Yeah.
The numbers changed too.
And then he, like, after that, it's really hard to stagger him. So, if you get it preempted, which hopefully you can get, maybe we'll take these guys on without a preemptive.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got a little dancing guy too.
Yeah, they make like chipmunk sounds.
Man, speaking of chipmunks and their ilk, I've been seeing a lot more squirrels in our area. And like the first 2 years that I lived here, like I saw no squirrels
Oh yeah.
around in our neighborhood, even though we live by a forest. Like they were just like, it's good here. I'm not gonna go by the people. And all of a sudden now I'm seeing them more, and they're so cute because they're like really bright red, like fox red. And they have like really long like ear tufts. So
Oh
they look
yeah,
really
those
pointy.
yeah, they have they have like a special name, don't they?
Furnishings.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, they have like really long furnishings. Well, at least for cats, I know it's called furnishings when they have like a lot of tufts on their ears.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're so cute.
Have you seen this sort of, I think it's an African cat named the caracal, and it has those
I've heard of them. Yeah, I've only seen like documentary footage of them.
yeah, I think they're really pretty.
Yeah. They're ferocious too.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. They like steal food from hyenas.
Well, to be fair, hyenas also steal food from lions.
Lions,
So.
yeah.
Oh man. Oh, how did I not get the fucking preemptive there? It's because these guys are all facing the same way. There we go. I guess against these enemies, it's best to just blitz them as well. I guess Snow knows provoke, and that kind of hits everyone, so you might be able to stagger everybody at the same time.
I just saw everybody like spasm at the same time.
It's really fucking loud. when you get a provoke on like tons of enemies. But yeah, these guys actually do a lot of fucking damage. Like really fast. But also they die really easily.
Yeah, they're like surprising little guys.
Yeah, they're dangerous when they're like in a big group because they all kind of attack around the same time.
Got a feeling there's something around.
There's I always find it to be like a pain in the ass when enemies are actually able to coordinate.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're supposed to be stupid NPCs, come on.
Yeah, cause like the big dancing birds are kind of like that. Because they
Can't
kind
really
of
tell what that big guy is. Oh, it's the like cute, like cat like mob.
yeah, it's a behemoth. I don't know if I'll be able to. I guess it won't be a real big deal, but yeah, it's hard to get.
Man, they all were like, sup?
Oh yeah, also these little slug dudes like to dispel you at the same time. But again, they're not too tough, so. Oh, but they do absorb HP when they hit you, so. There's that to deal with too.
Can they go over their max?
I don't think they can. Although, I don't think any enemy can do that.
Okay.
But that's why, like, enemies like bombs, they start with half HP, so that they can just absorb it from you. Oh yeah, I think I remember now why Pez wiped so many times. It's because he was like really adamant about not using a sentinel.
Oh, well.
Oops. Yeah. But it's like, for some reason he's incredibly adamant about not using sentinel. Actually, I guess in this fight it's kind of more of a benefit to not inflict deprotect.
But
because
like,
then you do more damage and then you can transform faster before you get the fucking stagger. But you can actually keep this guy kind of under stun lock a little bit. If you
but is that reason enough not to use Sentinel?
not to use what?
Sentinel?
Oh no, honestly, because he just does so much fucking damage anyway. See, here we might be a little bit fucked because he gets all of his HP back when he transforms.
Right.
I'll use... Actually, we don't need to use physical attacks, so...
Somehow when he transforms, he looks like a WoW character.
I guess so, yeah. I see what you mean by that.
I think it's just like the massive upper body. I think that's like a very WoW thing, like a massive upper body, but not too much going on for the lower.
Yeah. But yeah, commandos can keep this guy staggered. So if you get your timing right, you can just sort of keep this guy perpetually fucked. So.
It's kind of like launching almost.
Yeah, and also Aurora, just because it's like fucking stronger than every other spell for some reason, can keep launch enemies. So just keep that in mind. We're about to run out of the stagger here, but... Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that's But yeah, so Pez wasn't using a sentinel because he was just convinced for some fucking reason that it stops him from getting 5 stars.
What? Does he have proof?
Well, I mean, he was playing as...
Besides anecdotal.
Well, I guess so, yeah. I mean, in a way, I mean, I have exact counter proof, but, Like when he was playing as Snow in Chapter 7, where you have to play as Snow.
Yeah.
He was trying to use Sentinel moves, but he didn't know, like, he was clearly so fucking inexperienced with Sentinel that, like, especially when he first used it, he would, like, provoke after guarding, which is, like, bass-ackwards.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to preemptive on this guy because I just don't want to waste time. Okay. Hopefully this works. So just wait for them to slowly turn around and...
There you go. I liked how like you hop down and then turn the camera around. It was like,
yeah.
wait. So did you not get the preemptive?
No, I got it.
Oh, okay. It must have just happened really fast. My brain's not processing right.
Yeah, it's okay. Man, this fight is so easy when you have Saz and Vanille on your team. Because when you have...
Oh, it was fast. Holy no.
When you have Deep Protect, but also... I mean, I didn't even need to use Saz's buffs, like Bravery, which is increase Strength, which increases your physical damage. We're actually almost at the end of this section here, so... I don't know how long the boss is gonna take. I might be able to get the preemptive... Oh yeah, there we go.
But...
Okay, I'm gonna get rid of these little dudes first. And then kill the behemoth. Hopefully I don't lose the chain gauge. There we go. But I do need haste. There we go. Hopefully we can kill it before it transforms. Oh my god. I just hit him once with Snow and that was enough to kill him. At like
so
15% HP.
He didn't even transform.
Yeah. But yeah, you want to kill those guys before they transform because they increase their like chain resistance, so it's harder to stagger them. And then also they use these moves that do a shit ton of damage.
Second wind kind of deal.
Yeah. So yeah, but going back to like the battle system, something I wanted to talk about was like how interesting and dynamic it is in this game. Because like you have so many options, especially like at this point of the game where you can freely choose your team.
Yeah, it feels like it opens up like tenfold when you get to this point.
Yeah.
And especially after you get like the extra Cruciarium. Pretty nice.
Yeah. And the thing is like those getting into their second roles is more expensive and you don't get as much out of it, but you get to use like in terms of stats I mean.
Oh, okay.
But you get to use those abilities. And it kind of, again, it always kind of confuses me when I see people who go for the, like the stat boosts over the abilities. I'm like, you can get the stat boosts anywhere, like at any time, like all over the place.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know why people like to prioritize that instead of like the abilities, because there's no other way to get those. And then once you do get those abilities, you have like a bunch of new ways of fighting, or like new ways to take down enemies. So yeah, that's why I always go for abilities, because it's like that's the special part, you know. Everything else is just like kind of stat boosts, and it's like, oh, I see those all over the place.
Ooh, the ATM.
Yeah, so we're actually kind of at the end of this section, so we're almost done here.
Oh, wow. You were right. Did go by pretty quick.
Yeah. I should be able to get all these for snow. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if I'll be able to do the same for Saz and Vanille, but we can try it. What was I going for here? Oh yeah, this stuff. But yeah, I found it really funny that Pez was trying to act like the Sentinel isn't useful. When the thing is, like, especially in 13.2, having again, the roll bonus for Sentinels is to reduce the damage that they take and everybody else in the party also takes.
Did people give him shit for that?
Well, I mean, I feel like Pez is the only one who does. But I guess I've seen other people talking about how useless this Sentinel is.
No, but I meant, like, did anybody, like, write to him saying, like, you're dumb?
Well, I told him that he should use a Sentinel. And
Okay.
I remember when we were on stream and I was talking about this, or telling Pup about this. Pup was like, doesn't Pez take suggestions from the audience? I'm like, I wish he did.
Yeah. Maybe he did it for the laughs, the gifts.
Yeah, he does that sometimes. He said how, like, he doesn't, because honestly he has a point where, like, this is an RPG, so all you really need to do is just grind, and then the game isn't difficult anymore. But he doesn't want to do that, and in fact he switched his team last time he was on, just because he thought that the previous 2 bosses were too easy. So
Okay. Weird flex, but okay.
yeah, pretty much. But now he's actually using a Sentinel, so that makes me happy. But yeah, it's helpful to just have a Sentinel in the party, even if they don't know any actual abilities, which they probably do, but you know. But you know, it's helpful just having them even just for the damage reduction. So like, it makes the medic's job easier, for example. And it can, you know, it just helps reduce damage against enemies that do a lot of damage, so.
Right.
Yeah, like, even if the Sentinel isn't that powerful. I mean, it helps if they are, but, you know. Even that. And then also, on top of that, it was funny how, like, he'll look at the secondary abilities, and, like, it's clear that a lot of people haven't played through, like, the post-game where you just unlock fucking everything. And, like, every character knows every role. Which is fair enough. I mean, that's not something I would expect of people, obviously, but it's funny how he would look at some roles for certain characters and, like, laugh about it as if it was ridiculous. Like, I found it funny when he was like, "Medic Snow, anybody?" Like, in a really sarcastic tone, and I was just thinking, like, and then he made Saz a medic, just for like shit the bed purposes. And I was like, that's a decent play, but also he had basically the party he was running last time was Lightning, Snow, and Saz. So he saw that Lightning learns D-Protect like immediately as a Saboteur. So he taught Lightning D-Protect and D-Shell as a Saboteur. But and he taught Saz Cure and Asuna, just for, like, again, just for shit the bed purposes. And then he I found it hilarious because, like I said, he laughed at the idea of Snow being a medic. But the thing is, Snow's a better medic than Saz, because Saz has the worst stats in the game, and Snow's not only got a decent magic stat, but he's also the fastest character.
Right.
So he makes for a really good medic. Yeah. So Snow makes for an actually really good medic. I'd say that's like his best secondary role. And he made Lightning a Saboteur instead of Saz, even though Saz is like that's his best secondary role is Saboteur, because he learns every sabotage ability that isn't like multi-target.
What's Fang's secondary?
Fang's primary is what's it called? Commando, Sentinel, and Saboteur.
Right.
So she learns her secondary would be Ravager, Synergist, and Medic.
Okay, gotcha.
And she's a really good Ravager. She's not a great medic, but I feel like she's at least better than Lightning, just for the fact that she has more HP. So she won't spend as much time healing herself.
Right.
And she's kind of a shit Synergist in my opinion, because she learns the Synergist spells that require, well, not require, but like the Synergist spells that are more powerful but don't last nearly as long. And her magic stat isn't like phenomenal, so yeah. So we're actually about to fight Reigns. So I'm just trying to think of a good...
Would you want some good luck from Willow?
I guess so, sure. Hi, Willow. I don't need this paradigm.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, she actually spoke to you for a minute there.
I'm trying to think of what a good paradigm... I feel like the paradigm I had here with 2 commandos is kind of shitty.
Hey, Willow.
Oops. I guess if you want an easy time with this fight, you could either use 2 Synergists or 2 Saboteurs. I'd probably recommend 2 Saboteurs, because Reigns knows...
Is this your favorite combo?
It's not really my favorite combo, no, but it's a really good combo for this part of the game, so...
Okay. Willow, you're making so much noise.
It would be good to use 2 Saboteurs because Reigns knows Dispelga, and then he buffs himself after that. So, for the purpose of dispelling him and then also getting as many debuffs as possible, because honestly it takes a long time for Synergists to get their buffs out, because they have to do it one at a time for all 3 of your allies. So, I guess we could just run this and see if it works. Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, Reigns does a shit ton of damage, so... And then maybe I'll change that to that. This isn't easy. Okay. I think we'll try this and see if this works. Yeah, hopefully that's good. Yeah. So let's do it.
So I just realized, if you go back to your personnel files there,
To the what?
to like your character stats, the picture of everybody that's on your team is smiling.
Well, not everybody's smiling. Like lightning isn't really smiling.
No, but the ones that are that
Oh, the
you
ones on my team.
chose- Yeah.
Yeah.
Team smiles. And then if you do Saz, Lightning, and Hope, that would be team underrepresented. Because she's a veteran, right?
Yeah.
Saz is a minority. And Hope is a kid.
I guess so, yeah. I never thought about it that way, but yeah.
Come on then.
So I heard it snowed quite a bit by you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Have you had to do any snow shoveling?
Yeah, I did a little bit.
Oh, well, you guys got the snowplow too. Do you use that, or does just Louis use that?
Well, Louis uses it. Because, you know, he's getting kind of old.
Mm-hmm. Have you used it?
No. Well, I don't remember using it, so.
My will is my own. My will is my strength.
Yeah, so this is where Reigns uses, Dispelga. It's a real pain in the ass.
Man, he moves fast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, fuck no. I need to get rid of that. Okay, never mind. I can never remember what the item is for, getting rid of days. Oh, I think it's called Foul Liquid. Actually, I don't think I have any of that.
He just like sent a piss grenade to you, or what?
What?
Did he just like fart all over you guys?
No, it's just that he knows, Dispelga. So that's why I'd say it's useful to use, 2 Saboteurs. Because then you don't need to, like, worry as much about getting your buffs back, which takes fucking forever. And you can just, focus on debuffing him instead. Yeah, and he's, susceptible to everything that's not, daze, so...
Right.
Yeah, this is also a really, like, tough fight. Because he's just so fucking fast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he's got a pretty diverse
Oh, yeah?
set of skills as well.
He seems like probably the fastest mob.
Yeah, probably. I think he is actually the fastest enemy in the game. guess what we could do is just go for the stagger.
My will is my
Oh,
strength.
fuck's sake.
Oops.
I owe ya.
Yeah, he just uses Dispelga all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he buffs himself right after that, so...
Right, yeah.
So that's why it's good to
I
have
just
at
keep
least...
looking at the health bar, his health bar, and I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
annoying.
And then because Vanille only has 3 ATB bars, she can't do 2 dispels in a row. So that's like a huge pain in the ass.
Sure.
Oh no. Do I have the... Nope, don't have it. Yeah, that hurts a lot. How many potions do I have? I've got a few.
The fountain has no hold over me.
Oh, okay.
Bring it.
Nope.
We have to spend so much time healing, it's such a pain in the ass. So
Oh,
I'm
I
gonna
just
use...
realized I said oh.
Just gonna use these antidotes. That I'm never gonna use.
My will is my strength.
And then he does it again. As soon as we start attacking. So that's, yeah, that's the thing, like once you've got your buffs on,
I am about to be slain.
he just uses Dispelga. But thankfully we didn't lose too much HP there. Because he does some, tries to hit you with some debuffs as well. So I guess all we really need is haste, and then we could switch to something more offensive.
For this guy, is it better to use like a paradigm where you guys are more spread out, or in a line, or clustered?
I guess more spread out, because he does have a few AoE abilities.
I owe ya.
Oh, Saz is gonna die there. But thankfully Vanille knows Raise, so...
She's a necromancer, didn't you know?
Yeah.
My will is my strength.
Looks sick. Actually, Pez did a really good job beating this guy really fast. I think he used...
Bring it.
No, he used 2 synergists, so...
Okay.
You just basically have to slowly get the stagger gauge up. In fact, I kind of don't want to attack just so that... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so now we can launch him, and the fight's pretty much over. Definitely like the hardest boss in the game so far. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
And I only got 4 stars, but it's okay. And that's where the Crystarium expands.
Exclamation point.
Yeah. Yeah, so there we go. And now we have like a bunch of new shit to get. This massive new circle of abilities.
Yeah, Team Smiles.
What was I? Oh yeah, you should go for whichever one has the ATB level, because you can get an ATB level by just leveling up. So for Snow, that's in the Sentinel
really?
tree. Yeah. For Saz, I think that's probably in the Commando tree. Can't see it. Where is it? No, not here. I guess it's in the synergist tree for him? Yeah, okay. So I guess Vanille's is in the saboteur tree? No. I figured it would be on each character's best role, but I guess it's in the... I think it's in the medic tree, actually. Yeah. And she gets hers a bit earlier, because she hasn't... She's gonna be the only one... She's gonna be the last person to fight her Eidolon, so... she'll be short an ATB segment, unless they did it like that, so... That's why she gets hers a bit earlier. But yeah, it's just like, you know, stuff like that, where you can change your team around, you can teach them new abilities and shit, and there's just like so many different ways you can configure your team during battle. It's just like such a diverse battle system. I really like it for that. Like, one of the problems I had with 15 is the fact that, I mean, to be fair, it is basically a hack and slash game. So that has more to do with me just not being a big fan of
that type
of that genre.
game.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, like, in 15, there's not a huge difference between, like, the only thing you can really do is just attack. And that's kind of it. It's more about, like, combos and shit. Rather than strategy, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
can see that.
yeah, it's a lot of people complain about 15 being that it's like hold circle to win. Even though I didn't feel like that, because I felt like any time I decided to hold circle is when the enemy would start attacking me, so I would either hold circle and die because I wasn't holding square, which is like the guard button, or I was guarding too much and not attacking, so a fight would take fucking forever.
Right, yeah.
I found that really tricky in the game, like knowing when to guard and when to attack. Because it's really not obvious when an enemy's like waiting or an enemy's attacking, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I don't really like comparing the games to each other, because I feel like gamers should appreciate what games are rather than what they aren't. So
yeah,
that's why I don't
one
like...
for their own thing.
Yeah, it's just 15 I feel like could have had a lot more diversity in combat, like, and like the only part of the game I really liked was the second half, and especially the last, or not the last chapter, but chapter 13, because you get access to this like super cool ring that lets you cast 3 spells, and I'm like, and I remember them advertising in the game, or like in the trailers, like, oh, you get to use these rings that have magic, and I'm like, shit, that's really cool. Because, like, what I imagined was what I would hope for, which is basically, okay, this ring lets you use, like, fire, flame strike, and bar fire, or something like that. And then this other ring allows you to cast, ruin, raise, and... I don't know, like poison or something like that, you know? So, and like, just think about that, like, think about how much more diverse the combat would have been if you were able to equip rings like that give you like 3 spells. But I didn't get that. It's the only ring that does that is that one ring at the end of the game, and you only get to use it for like the last 2 chapters, and then the post game as well. But it's like, clearly they've got like the programming down for it, so I'm like, why? And it's kind of jarring at that point in the game as well when they introduce it, and I'm like, why didn't you introduce more rings earlier that do different things?
Yeah.
You know, it's
why
like,
not turn it into a thing?
yeah, it's like these really simple things that could be put into the game. The only thing that would take time, you know, programming is like the animation for like what each one does.
Right.
But that's it, you know, it's like, and that can't take forever. I mean, I know animation is no easy task, but like, it can't be as long-winded as writing, or, you know, just making the fucking engine to begin with, like they're so eager to do. So you know, it's just stuff like that I felt would not have been too difficult to implement, but like would have added so much diversity to the combat. I would have really enjoyed 15 if it had more shit like that. But yeah, I don't really like comparing the games to each other because like I said before, I think games should be appreciated for what they are rather than what they aren't. But in my opinion, this game, like when I was playing this the first time, this game kept me on the edge of my seat all the fucking time because of the battle system. Because it's like, there's so many different ways to do things, and, you know, so many different ways you can configure your team and your paradigms. And because everything feels like really high action and stuff like that, like you gotta get the chain gauge up and raise the stagger bar so you can stagger them and do as much damage as possible. It's really frantic, you know?
Yeah, I feel like there's no, like, same way to... Or, like...
There's no one way to beat the game, you know?
Right, exactly. And, like, each battle you have with an enemy, like, it's gonna be different every single time.
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's exactly why I love the battle system, because there's so many possibilities. And, like, if you go on Pup's channel, they've been doing, like, or they did a solo run for, like, just lightning, like, where you get your other two allies to faint, and you just fight with the one character.
Right.
Which is what I'll be doing with Snow, in, like, a couple weeks, I guess. I'll start uploading those. Is Pup in the chat?
I feel like, I don't see him, you know, I don't see him if he is. I'm feeling like going back to the whole, like, diversity of options for battle. It feels more in tune with the essence of RPG to begin with.
Yeah,
like if you go back to like D&D, like I feel that it's more analogous with that than 15.
And I don't know which one came first. I mean, we have like the Elder Scrolls, for example, which is like diversity to the fucking max. And that was like inspired
more
by
open
D&D.
world though, too. You know.
Well, I mean, that's just like the style of the world, I guess. Like it's an open world game.
Yeah, but I mean, like, as far as... But you can, like, run away from your battles, essentially, because of it.
Oh, yeah, but you can do that in most Final Fantasy games as well. It's just that in Final Fantasy, the story kind of requires you to fight battles. So... But, like, in the Elder Scrolls, or most Elder Scrolls games, you can play the game without fighting. I mean, you're kind of missing out on a lot of stuff, but, like, if you want to do that, you can completely do that. So yeah, it's just, you know, this game strikes a nice balance between giving you lots of options, but also keeping the excitement, like, up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, I really fucking hate it when people say this game is just press X to win. Because, like, that...
I mean, it can be, but...
It could be that a little bit if you run...
If you set it up like that, sure.
If you set it up like that, it could be that. You're basically, if you wanted to do that, you'd have to use a paradigm called Solidarity, which is just Commando Sentinel Medic, and that paradigm can let you kind of beat almost any enemy in a really long time.
Yeah.
It's not fast, but like you could just press X to win with that paradigm, but you're not taking advantage of the other three roles, which are incredibly important, like Ravager, Synergist, and Saboteur. And those are like the more exciting ones, honestly.
It's like when you decide to learn a language and you decide all you're going to learn is like how to say, "Where's the bathroom?"
Yeah, you know, it's like, do you really know the language if all you know is how to say basic, just
but like then,
one
like,
or two
what's
basic
the point?
phrases?
Like, what's the point? You know, like there's much more exciting stuff to say. Yeah.
And so just like that complaint of this game is press X to win, the game plays itself, doesn't make any fucking sense. I get the linearity, and I get why if people don't like the linearity, then fair enough. I think it was excellent for storytelling purposes, but if it's not your shit, then it's not your shit. I mean, you know.
Sure. Yeah,
but if
everybody
people say-
reads different books and everybody likes different approaches to stories. So.
Yeah, but to say like this game is press X to win, and that's it, or like the game plays itself, is really selling it incredibly short, because there's
It's
so
not
much
the
to the
game's
battle
fault,
system.
it's your fault.
Exactly, yeah. It's like if you don't want to pay attention to the characters, if you don't want to appreciate the scenery, it's you know, you got to admit, very beautiful in these hallways. And if you don't want to appreciate the diversity and the depth of the battle system, then that's up to you. But you can't do that and then complain that the game has no depth, you know? It's like reading the first sentence of every paragraph in a book and then saying that the book isn't descriptive enough. It's like, well, yeah, you decided to read the book like that. It's not the book's fault that you didn't fucking read everything, you know?
Right, yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, it's really incredible how diverse the battle system is, because you've got 3 defensive roles that are all different from each other, and 3 offensive roles that are all really different from each other. It's just, again, on my first playthrough, I was on the edge of my seat every fucking time. Like, every battle. And it really never got repetitive to me. It was like, it was always really epic, and the animations are really fluid and fascinating to watch. And, you know, the voice acting matches all the actions they do and everything. And I feel like, with the story, that the stakes are really high, you know? So it's just one of the 2 major reasons, the other being the characters, why this is pretty much my favorite game ever. So, yeah. I don't know, did you have anything else to say about the battle system specifically, or anything else about the game? Because we're pretty much done here.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. I think you should play 13 too, because I feel like it's like this game, they made some improvements in terms of like slight improvements to the battle system that actually like go a long way due to like the depth of the battle system. And then also the game is 13.2 is a lot less linear. And shit like that, so... And then it also has a very Vegeta-like villain, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you would really enjoy 13.2 if you ever get the chance to play
Well,
through
we
it.
have it, so...
Yeah. And also 13.2 kind of retcons 13's ending, so you don't really need to play 13 to understand 13.2.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, basically now that we're done with this little foray into 13 on livestream, what's up next for us is I'm going to be doing the Snow solo run. So I'm not sure how long it'll take me to get that done, or at least started. Hopefully I'll have shit going before like Christmas. I want to have... I don't know if I'll be able to finish it before January when Snow's announced for Dissidia. That's kind of it's part of the reason why I'm doing this, is because not only do I really like Snow as a character. Oh, by the way, there's also a fucking awesome thread on r/Final Fantasy about why Snow is a great character, and why so many people are like, why it's just really kind of unfair the way people see him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's part because I love Snow, and also because he's going to be in Dissidia in January. So, or that's when the announcement's going to happen, probably in like the 2nd week of January, somewhere around there. They usually do it on like the 2nd Tuesday of every month is when their update live stream is, and the character, which is Snow, is going to be in January. So yeah, so
Nice.
I don't think I'm gonna be done with this Snow playthrough by the time he's announced, but I hope to have like a lot of it done by then.
Alright.
So yeah.
Tight.
And so that's what I'll be doing in terms of like other videos. In the future I want to do like Elder Scrolls videos about like, because I have a lot of ideas about how I think the next game should handle its like level up system. And I wanted to talk to you about that, so I guess I'll just send you some info about that shit. And
Sure.
we could talk about it. In terms of like Skyrim or whatever, we might do some like Skyrim streams. If we do, it'll be after Christmas. I don't know, because the thing is, I don't think I mentioned this on stream, but like the thing is, I spend like 2 hours doing this, right? And I don't really get anything for doing it, so like I'm not popular enough to get donations or anything like that, or even just ad revenue. So it's basically just 2 hours of every week I'm doing this stuff, when I could just use it doing more productive things like art or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just,
You just do it when you feel like it. I think that's
yeah,
that's
I mean,
reason enough, man. Because
Yeah.
if you like make it into this thing where you have to do it, then
yeah,
it becomes that like, well, I have to do my chores kind
Mhm.
of deal.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so I don't know if we'll do any of those. Obviously, you'll see them. It'll be on a Wednesday, probably at 3 p.m. Central. If we do those, I don't know if we will.
hi, Dex.
Hi, Dex. You just joined at the end of the stream.
Yeah,
Um,
they did.
but yeah, so just to recap, I'll be doing that snow solo playthrough throughout December and January.
To be
and-
fair, Dex, like we didn't show up yesterday, so
Yeah, we weren't here yesterday because
yeah.
just weren't feeling it yesterday, so yeah. But you can also watch the stream back if you want. It wasn't too long. We just got through the 5th arc and beat Reigns, and that was pretty much it. I'll have to ask Pup how the trainer works. I mean, it wouldn't be too hard for me to work through it myself, but yeah. Also, I guess I could just try to go back on that website and look for the instructions, but yeah. Yeah, so again, I'll be doing that snow playthrough through December and January, just as videos, because again, the quality will be better if I do it as a video rather than a stream. So yeah, and then also we might come back with Skyrim after Christmas sometime. Maybe not, I don't know. But if
I like the sound of that.
even if we don't, I'll be making videos about like Skyrim and like what kind of level up system I want in the next Elder Scrolls game and other shit like that, just because I think it would be interesting. That'll probably take a while to come out, so I don't know when to expect those, but yeah, that's sort of what's on the agenda. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have any final thoughts about the game or anything else like that before we sign out?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, yeah,
They're pretty good.
we've done most of our review type stuff through the playthrough, so
Right.
yeah. So that's pretty much it from us, guys. Thanks for joining us on this like 10-part stream or however long it took. It's been fun, and I guess I'll see you guys next in those snow solo run videos in like maybe, I don't know, a week or two, maybe more than that. So yeah, look out for
Who knows?
those. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I'll get time to do those, but yeah, look out for those. And thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you next time, whenever that'll be. So thanks for watching, and see you later. Bye,
See ya.
guys. Bye. Oops. Bye-bye.